China and Africa have deepened ties not only in trade and investment, but also in peace and security. Right now, about 100 young African military officials are in China for an official visit. CGTN's Beatrice tells us more.
Over the past decade, China's role in Africa's peace and security has rapidly grown with military cooperation and peacekeeping deployment. Through the Forum on China-Africa Cooperation, or FOCAC, and the African Union's support, China has made a growing effort to take a Pan-African approach to security on the continent. It is against this background that young African officers are visiting China, a follow-up to the implementation of the 2018 FOCAC Plan of Action, which calls for ongoing forums on peace, security and law enforcement between China and Africa.
Over the past years, we have seen tremendous effort being made by African leaders, as well as various partners, including China, in trying to promote peace as well as development in Africa. So the AU, in collaboration with China through the FOCAC initiative, is making great efforts to prepare for peace and prevent conflict in Africa.
China's contribution to Africa's peace and security has become more prominent with its presence in peacekeeping missions in places like South Sudan, DR Congo, Western Sahara, Liberia, Mali, Cote d'Ivoire and Darfur. Security cooperation efforts include maritime rescue, anti-piracy, medical and humanitarian support and peace mediation. At the UN summit in 2015, President Xi Jinping pledged that China would provide $100 million worth of free military assistance to the African Union. This would be given over 5 years to support the establishment of an African standby force and enhance Africa's crisis response capacity.
China is probably the biggest contributor of troops of all the UN security members, and most of those peace officers are deployed in Africa. So that clearly shows the role that China is playing towards peace or contributing towards peace in Africa. So we are seeing China playing a major role in supporting the initiatives by the AU and African countries.
The visit by the young African officers is one sign of China's growing ties with Africa, not only in trade and investment, but also in peace and security, which is critical for the continent's development.
At the end of this seminar, we are going to learn more in terms of China-Africa partnership and what are the policies in terms of China-Africa partnership.
Security is an important chapter of the China-Africa story, and maintaining peace and security has become a pillar of the African Union. African officers from 45 countries currently visiting China is a true manifest of China's growing role in managing peace and security challenges on the African continent. The visit will also enable the African delegation make a further contribution to the China-Africa peace and security partnership. Beatrice, CGTN, Beijing, China.